Good evening, friends, family, and faculty. It is a privilege to speak to you all today as the salutatorian of the class of 2025. It's truly amazing seeing everyone gathered here today. Seriously, the amount of supporters we have is overwhelming and in all the best ways. I'm not surprised. After all, the class of 2025 is one of, if not the best class in LOA history. Not to mention, our success extends beyond the classroom. I'd like to congratulate our state champion cheer comp team and last night's varsity boys soccer team. Now, I know we're all very excited to enter this new chapter of our lives. My dad might even be more excited than me as he constantly reminds me how he can't wait for me to move out. Little does he know I plan on visiting Miami to live with my parents for the rest of my life. Jokes on you then. Seriously though, after today, we will call ourselves LOA alumni. I don't want to think about just the future though. It's important to know where we came from and how we matured. For example, Dylan Phoenix, otherwise known as Lil Dylan SoundCloud rapper, now turned aviation pilot. Or how about Knoxville Mall, known as TikTok Knoxville influencer, now a six-figure business owner? Or maybe Jewel Morrison, the overachiever. I guess some things never change. Seriously though, this class holds your future lawyers, doctors, construction workers, educators, you name it. Nearly 40% of this year's class plans on pursuing a career in medicine. This includes students like Lauren Glass, who wants to be a neurosurgeon, and Emerson Walden, a physician's assistant. We have dentists like Mario Zamora and Hannah Albear, nurses like Lily Cox and Grace Finch. We even have our own medical illustrator, Miss Mary Claire Thomas. We also have brave students who will serve our country, like Garrett Glass, who enlisted in the Marine Corps. Special Operations Command, while Yael Rodriguez Flores enlisted in the U.S. Army and plans to become an Army Ranger. We also have Veronica Blade and Sarah Carr, both planning on joining the Navy. Are truly inspiring. Now I'm running out of time to talk about all the incredible careers this class intends to pursue, but as you can see, even if it was just a brief glimpse of our dreams, this class is filled with them. We are filled with leaders, curators, and artists, driven by the foundation of having a strong community, and this class is the embodiment of a strong community. Regardless of what our next steps might be, each of us walk the same sidewalks on this campus, which is crazy to think that after so many years being at LOA, and if they've been here for 7 years is a long time, compared to some of you who have been here for almost double that amount, that we're finally walking the stage and going our separate ways. Now, before I conclude, I want to shout out some of the people that are responsible for my success and the reason I stand here before you all today. I want to thank my beautiful parents, Diane and Adam Kamenovich, my brother Jack and sister Grace, my grandparents, including you, Debbie, this year's extraordinary admin team, and especially Mrs. Baxter and Mrs. Stevens. I attribute my success to them and couldn't be more grateful to have them as role models and guides in my life. On this stage today, I am full of pride, wholeness, and complete satisfaction. I feel fulfilled because of everyone in this room, because of every class taken, because of every hurdle overcome. We have accomplished so much, yet there is still so much more to achieve. Our future is bright. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Good evening, and welcome to this joyous occasion, the graduation of the Lake Oconee Academy class of 2025. I'm Dr. Brad Bowling, and I'm the very proud executive director of this wonderful school. Today we gather to celebrate remarkable achievements, hard work, and perseverance of these outstanding students. Class of 2025, today is a milestone that marks the culmination of years of dedication, learning, and personal growth. Each of you has faced challenges, embraced opportunities, and emerged stronger and wiser. Your presence here is a testament to your resilience, your spirit, and your commitment to excellence. Let's give it up one more time for these graduates. Today, I would like to acknowledge some very special guests that we have. Students, these are people who have supported you along the way. To the LOA faculty and staff, thank you for your relentless and selfless pursuit of what's best for students each and every day. Thank you for establishing and maintaining high expectations and for supporting students and helping them reach those expectations. Ms. Chamberlain, thank you for providing such an amazing senior experience that lasts throughout the year. Parents and extended families, I know you're proud of your children and their accomplishments, and rightly so. I thank you, and they thank you for your support over the years. Mr. Chris Swecker, who will be introduced more formally later in the program. He's our commencement speaker this evening. We are grateful for the time you've taken to support our school and to learn about these students. We're honored to have you with us and look forward to hearing your message. Dr. Otho Tucker, thank you for the pivotal role you played in shaping the foundation of this school and for the years you invested in the growth and development of the students we are celebrating tonight. I know they carry with them many lessons and experiences from your time here, and I know they are grateful. The Lake Oconee Academy Foundation and all those who contribute to the foundation, thank you for your continued support of our many extracurricular programs and activities and campus improvement projects over the years. You have made the school experience of these students very special. The LOA Board of Governors, represented tonight by Chairman Michael Tompkins, Vice Chair Jennifer Vaughn, Sarah Peacock, and Kelly Brawley. We also extend our thanks to board members Dick Schmidt, who I might add is going off the board this year after being here as a founding member since 2007. So we're especially grateful to Dick for that. Matt Waterfield and Anthony Vincent. Thank you each for allowing us to dream and for helping turn those dreams into reality. When others may be distracted by ancillary agendas, your focus remains steadfast on the needs of the students and the development of LOA. A special thank you to our student ushers today. These students have earned the honor to serve here today. They are the top of the junior class, and we look forward to watching them celebrate this special day this time next year. Students, the people I have mentioned have served you and prepared you well. I hope you will follow their example of servant leadership, making it an important part of your lives and using it in the support of future LOA students, this community, this nation, and all over the world. Let's give all the people who have supported you a round of applause. The time has now come to present two very special scholarships. First is the presentation of the James Brooks Memorial Scholarship. The Lake Oconee Foundation established the James Brooks Memorial Scholarship in 2018 to assist a graduating high school senior from Lake Oconee Academy who plans to enroll at a 2- or 4-year college, university, or technical school. Mr. Brooks, who the scholarship is named after, is a Greensboro native. He was a founding member of the Lake Oconee Academy Board of Governors from 2007 until his death in 2017. Mr. Brooks was a distinguished businessman who spent his professional career in mechanical construction. He believed in quality education for all of the children of Greene County, and particularly believed in the mission of Lake Oconee Academy. He was a staunch supporter of the school and its mission, and also believed in the opportunities it provides for all the students of Greene County. The selection of the James Brooks Memorial Scholarship recipient is determined by the LOA Scholarship Committee composed of teachers here at LOA. Miss Virginia Brooks, who I've gotten to know well, is Mr. Brooks' wife for 52 years and an educator for over 40 years of teaching experience. She's here with us tonight to present the scholarship. Her presentations each year are a highlight of our graduation. We're always excited to welcome back Ms. Brooks to LOA to present the scholarship. Thank you.
and here today to present the prestigious scholarship in the honor of my husband, James Brooks. That scholarship, the James Brooks Scholarship, will go to, let me see, the scholarship this year will be awarded to Caleb Mathis. James served on the board of directors at LOA, which always stood for him, Love Oconee Academy. James was an advocate for education. He strongly believed that each child is equal and should have an equal education. Education is so important. You know what they say about the American Express car? Don't leave home without it. Don't ever leave home without trying to get better education. On last week, I was listening to the news, and Governor came on the news to announce that he was not going to run for governor again. He felt, and I told him, that he could do more for the state of Georgia by being the governor than he could by going to the Senate. So we're glad to have him back with us. He didn't leave us, but we really needed him. So that is such good news to hear. You know, I taught first grade for 35 years and second for 5. But I never failed to teach the alphabet. And I know when you have little kids, the first thing you start teaching them is A, B, C, they learn those alphabets. Well, today, the alphabet are just taking a show. You heard of AI, artificial intelligence, but don't let that fool you. You need to get that education because AI, that artificial intelligence, sometimes it breaks down. Then you have to go back to the old school and teach those children the way you were taught. All right. You know we have vowels. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y and W. Y the vowel is like I. W is the vowel beside another vowel. Like cow, C-O-W. O is the vowel, and W is the vowel because it is W. I know you didn't come to school today, but I have to tell you. But I'm used to the vowels with a consonant of Y can be both. U-Y-O-I. Instead of artificial intelligence, use your own intelligence. Caleb, in doing my research, I learned that you are a great sport person. And football is your game. I learned that you were 2-time captain Good luck. You're gonna need it. I have a gift for you. It is a book, and it is titled The Q Factor, a book titled The Q Factor. And it's a book that shows leadership detective for football, not just for football, but for other careers. So I want you to enjoy this book, and I wish you all the luck in pursuing your career. You have a wonderful year at Northwest.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Brooks. 2025 marks the second presentation of the Cindy Tucker Scholarship. In 2007, Dr. Oko Tucker and his wife Cindy moved to Greensboro, Georgia, so he could serve as Lake Oconee Academy's first CEO. They set our standard from the beginning of what our school would represent and stand for. They were the first two and our one titan. Dr. Tucker, your steadfast commitment to LOA played a vital role in shaping LOA's path and helping it become what it is today. We still will never forget all that Cindy did for LOA and the students, staff, both past and present. Ms. Cindy Tucker arrived at our campus almost every day. She tutored countless students through the years who quickly became like family to her. Spotting her sitting with a few students seemed as natural as breathing at LOA. Her time given freely as a volunteer felt magnified to us. She could work with a student for a short time, but her impression would last forever. Cindy left her fingerprints all over our campus. Teachers treasured baby blankets, sheltered her cave for them when they told her about a pregnancy. Students still sang her songs and rhymes and jingles that were written by Ms. Tucker to help them with complicated math problems. Our athletes remember her cheers from the bleachers of all our athletic playing fields and courts. Dr. Tucker, thank you for giving so much of who you are to our school. Now it is my honor to welcome you to the stage to continue another legacy on behalf of Cindy Tucker here at OOA. Today, Dr. Tucker is joined by alumnus Jane Monticello, who is the recipient of the Cindy Tucker Scholarship last year. Dr. Tucker, Jane.
I want to congratulate girls soccer team for getting going up. Cindy's put her heart and soul. Cindy put her heart and soul in school. Just to kind of give you an idea of how long we've been here. The children, the students who graduated today, congratulations. But you were babies, born the year that this started. So it's been a while since we've been here, but it's certainly is something that nobody could imagine. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of the job. Students, we're so proud of you. I got a call or a text or something, I don't know what it was. Someone said, James will be back in school. And James was our first assistant as a Cindy Tucker Scholarship Award. And I thought it would be nothing better than having Jane introduce
valedictorian of the class of 2025. The speech is not understood, so we're going to collect that. So now we're going to go ahead and hear from Mr. Schwecker, if you'll introduce him.
It is my honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, Mr. Schwecker. Mr. Schwecker began his career as an assistant district attorney in North Carolina before serving 24 years with the FBI. His leadership roles included special agent in charge of Charlotte, assistant director of criminal investigations, and acting executive assistant director, overseeing more than 2/3 of the FBI's cyber and operational divisions and leading over 20,000 agents and analysts. During this time with the FBI, he led major operations, including the capture of Atlanta Olympic bomber and the dismantling of the Hezbollah financing cell. The first use of the RICO statute in a terrorist case in the U.S. history. In 2003, as the FBI's on-scene commander in Iraq, he was awarded the prestigious Presidential Rank Award. After retiring, Mr. Schwecker served as a global security director at Bank of America, chaired the NC Governor's Crime Commission, and led a landmark investigation into sexual assaults at Fort Hood. His work led to sweeping reforms and earned him the Department of Defense highest civilian award. Today, he leads his own law firm and provides security consulting nationwide, including work with LA earlier this year. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Chris Schwecker.
Good evening, Dr. Bowling and members of the Board of Governors that are here tonight, respected graduates, class of 2025, and your supporters that are here tonight. Now, before I forget, I got to say, that was the most beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner I've heard for a long time. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be your speaker. The last commencement I did was at my own alma mater at Appalachian State University in front of 4,000 people. I'm pretty sure you can hear my knees knocking in the last row of that gymnasium back then. Pretty big crowd tonight as well. The last fall I met Dr. Bowling and Kelly Brawley when he asked me to conduct a security assessment, and it gave me of the University of the Academy. It gave me an opportunity to really get to know this academy. I met with educators and administrators. I walked the grounds several times, looked at classrooms, talked to teachers, did focus groups, talked to the Board of Governors, studied every aspect of this academy. And frankly, it's impressive. What I found were educators and academy leaders who were invested and engaged with the academy and its students, from their education to providing a secure environment. When I ended up doing my final report, my findings were that your students, your kids, were in good hands here at LOA. I just want to mention in the company here tonight about my wife, Sue. She's been with my sales. So with that experience, I realized that in the minds of 18-year-olds, like yourself, advice coming from parents, old people like me, or anyone that's not in your social circle is probably not a lot of steps to. And maybe, I know this because I've been there. I was a student. I've been the father of a student, of many students, and the father and grandfather of about 9 that will be coming through this very same process. So as you begin the next, I think the most critical phase of your lives, the decisions you make will have lifetime impacts. Rather than giving the do's and don'ts, what I'd like to do tonight is just give you some things to consider to go forward with the rest of your lives. I have 6 of these considerations for you. You can take all of them or none of them. You can run with them. But the good news is that I'll try to stay within my 15 minutes that I've given tonight. Before I get into that, let me just confront the elephant in the living room. Why would you have an FBI agent come to speak at the commencement? I mean, all they deal with is crime and suppression. But here's why it makes sense. As an FBI agent, you deal with every aspect of our society, the good and the bad. You deal with the most intimate parts of people's lives and secrets, their rights, their liberties, and their livelihood. The insights you gain are not matched in any profession that I know of. You deal with witnesses, victims, lawyers, accountants, experts in every profession, and hardened criminals. One day you're talking to a bank president, the next day you're talking to a stone-cold killer. Maybe they're the same. You deal with forensic science, chemistry, serology, DNA, behavioral science, explosives, ballistics, and forensic accounting. You travel, you investigate, you analyze, you reason and apply your best judgment to real-life situations, and you use your instincts and initiative, and you have to document every bit of it. And then get on the witness stand and have some lawyer in a silver suit shred the case to pieces. Most of all, you deal with people, and you see where things went wrong. Hopefully, based on that experience, I can give you some useful insights. But first, I just want to mention a few things about this graduating class that I coached at about Bowl. You're an impressive group. 70 graduates who have taken 261 AP classes and exams over the last 4 years. You've taken over 250 dual enrollment classes. You've given 6,000 hours of community service. 70% of you competed in the varsity sport. 87%, this is the most impressive, 87% had a job while in high school. And 96% of you have accepted to college. So that's impressive. Remember though, when you choose your profession, you're going to be doing it for a long time. And the decisions you make now will have lifetime impacts. Because when the ship sails across the Atlantic, if you are 1 degree off, when you reach the other side, you'll be on the wrong time. You've got to stay the course. So consideration number 1 is surround yourself with people you can depend on. At the top of the list are your family. These are the ones that are always there for you. People that are here tonight. Your good friends. Yeah, you know who they are. They're the ones who stuck with you when you were down and genuinely celebrated when you were up. For me, it was my teammates at Appalachian State that I played football with. They were my classmates, some of my classmates in Wake Forest Law School. But the best illustration for me was the FBI support network. I realized on day 1 at the FBI Academy that I was going to be working with some pretty special people. I thought I was qualified. I was an attorney. I was an assistant DA. I had trial experience. But as we introduced ourselves on that first day, I learned that I wasn't that special. We had an aeronautical engineering class. That's a rocket science. We had a State Department regional security officer who headed up the Russian embassy and spoke fluent Russian. There were lawyers. There was the Marine captain, the decorated Marine captain in charge of several hundred people. A commercial real estate broker who had made about a $500,000 commission the week before he attended the academy. There were educators, 2 were state prosecutors, a Navajo tribal police detective, and they spoke Japanese, Mandarin, Russian, Lithuanian, Spanish, and hillbilly. That was the state trooper of Arkansas. So for the FBI agent position, when you're accepted, you're probably over 30 years of age, with a master's degree or law degree, and 5 to 10 years of work experience. My average age in my FBI Academy class was over 30. I was the youngest person in the class at age 25. And it was a pretty extraordinary 4 months. And the physical requirements, firearms, classroom were pretty stringent. What I came to learn back to the point was these were people I could count on. In those 4 months, I realized that these were the kind of people that I could depend on and I would share a foxhole with. And just to give you a quick example, we had a classmate named Gennaro who was 35 years old when he went in. He was a former Raleigh police officer. Good detective, but at 35 years he wasn't in very good shape. Heavy smoker. He had to make the run on the last day. He had to make a 2-mile run within a certain time. And when the entire class had finished, everybody was done to look back, and Gerald was about 400 yards from the finish line, and he wasn't going to make it. You've ever seen that movie, Officer and Gentleman? That same thing happened. It was so spontaneous, the entire class went back and literally pushed him across the finish line. And he went on to have a great 25-year career in the FBI. Other friends said these are people I can depend on. So next month I'm going to attend the 43rd reunion of that class in New Orleans, of all places. The point is, stick with the people you can count on. Family, friends, and trusted colleagues. They're your base, and they're your foundation, and they're your center of gravity. Consideration number 2. Have a set of core values and stick to them. And I have to draw a little bit more on the FBI experience. Sophocles said, I'd rather fail in honor than succeed in fraud. I was primarily in organized crime, but when you move up into higher positions, you start to become more of a generalist, and you're in charge of all of the investigative programs. And during my tenure, it seemed like white-collar crime became an epidemic. White-collar crime implies that the perpetrators are using their professional positions to commit crimes, embezzlement, kickbacks, fraud schemes, Ponzi schemes, you name it. So basically what you have are mostly college-educated, intelligent, talented people using their positions of trust and their knowledge, skills, and experience to steal. During my career, there were 3 massive waves of fraud that almost tanked our economy each time. And some people remember it's the savings and loan crisis in the 1980s almost collapsed our banking system. We had the corporate fraud crisis with Enron, WorldCom, HealthSouth, and all those big corporations. We had over 18 cases at the time. We had about 250 corporate fraud cases, but 18 of them involved losses of over $8 billion. And these weren't one-offs. What we found out was that these were the CEOs, the CFOs, the chief operating officers. These were the C-suiters. This was systemic fraud. Ironically, this wasn't about apple or two. But you think about it, top executives made a conscious decision to defraud their shareholders, and like most fraud schemes, the truth eventually came out. And then they lost everything, and they went to jail. And these companies, the reason you never heard of them, is because they no longer exist. These were professional people that should have been setting an example, but they never had or lost sight of their value system. So the insidious part is that many otherwise honest people got drawn in because they saw that the cheaters were enjoying temporary success. But you remember success is fleeting. And just imagine being at the top of your profession and how hard you fall when you do fall. So set your core value system and stick by it. That's your faith, your work ethic. You build a reputation of integrity, fidelity. You give your loyalty not to a person, but to your God, your principles, your family, and the ethics of your profession. Third consideration is, just success, you have to build a brand for yourself. You are a corporate entity that's building your brand, or building your value, starting now. And just remember, success doesn't come overnight, nor does it come without making a full investment in becoming good at what you do. There's a lot of talented people out there, and talented people often rely on their talent alone. There's an old saying, hard work beats talent, and talent doesn't work hard. I went to Appalachian State on a football scholarship. I thought I was pretty good. And when I arrived in summer practice, I was ready to go. big expectations. But they have a thing called the depth chart. On the first day of practice, I learned I was the sixth string quarterback. And every year there were 3 or 4 more quarterbacks that were recruited that had talent. And I really wasn't burdened with a whole lot of talent. My teammate, I'll call him Robbie on the other hand, was enormously talented. He was drafted right out of high school thing, Major League Baseball, and chose to go to App State for football instead. He was a quarterback like me, and I envied his success. But this guy relied 100% on his God-given talent. Because of his talent, he expected instant success in life. When he finished his college football career, he went on to fail in just about everything he did. Why? Because he never spent any time learning a profession and a craft. He took shortcuts. He drifted without any real purpose. He was always looking for the quick hit. Life is a long race, and you have to be willing to start at the bottom and build your brand and work your way up to the top. You have to learn your profession, talk to people in the profession, seek internships, be willing to stay late and volunteer. You have to do extra things, not just what's expected out of you. Spend more time on LinkedIn and less time on Facebook. Show up every day, find a mentor, and take it step by step. And one day you look up and you realize that you're there. Consideration number 4 is, don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. The poet Robert Frost published a very poignant poem in 1915 in which he talks about making fateful decisions in your life. And how conflicted he was in deciding which way to go when he took a certain trip down and got to a crossroads. In the poem he says, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and sorry I couldn't travel both. And he weighed the considerations in the 2 roads, and he noticed one path was less worn. I took the road less traveled, and that has made all the difference. The road less traveled. Well, I grew up in Virginia Beach. My dad, that's a Navy town, if you haven't been there. My dad was a Naval captain, Brad. My brother was a Navy pilot. We were a Navy family. When I was offered an appointment to the Naval Academy to play football, I was torn because they had another offer. It was from Appalachian State. Nobody in Tidewater, Virginia, had ever heard of Appalachian State in 1974. Needless to say, my dad was not supportive of my decision to go to ASU instead of the Naval Academy. That's a defining moment in my life. That changed the course of my life. Mine was the decision to take the road less traveled at the time. And the result was, well, I met my future wife. She's been the greatest influence in my life. I realized I wasn't going to play in the NFL, and I would apply myself in the classroom and was competitive to get into law school. Because of the athletics and the academics, I was able to get into Wake Forest Law School. So this was the first road less traveled. There was another one. I took a job as an assistant district attorney. I was happy. The first district of North Carolina, the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I always wanted to be a trial lawyer, and the best way to get trial experience was as an ABA. It so happened that the FBI office in that area was right across the hall. And they started to recruit. And it ended up having a choice of whether I was going to stay as an assistant district attorney and work in trial work, or was I going to go in the FBI. At the time, there were 350,000 lawyers in the U.S., and there were 8,000 FBI agents. So again, I took the road less traveled. It turned out to be a perfect match. I saw and experienced things I could only imagine, and it just absolutely never felt like a job. Which brings me to consideration number 5. Find a profession which you have a passion. The FBI for me was a calling. It never felt like a job. Days flew by. I never watched the clock. I could never tolerate bullies and those who picked on vulnerable people, so it was a perfect match for me. And we did. We faced off with the most formidable criminals in the world and worked alongside some of the most brilliant people. They were dedicated, talented, and motivated, and they wanted to make a difference in people's lives. Think about the most successful people you know, and inevitably, they will be people that love what they do. If you love it, you'll be good at it. So take note, if you find yourself watching the clock at your job and counting minutes to quitting time, that's a clue. I worked before I went to college, I worked as a dishwasher. I stripped parts in the junkyard. I was a ski lift operator and even a lifeguard. incredibly boring. I set the clock back one time, 15 minutes, so we closed the pool early, and I got caught. But those were motivating experiences. Orient yourselves towards a topic or a subject or a job or a profession. And if you find yourself watching the clock, then that's not the right position for you. Not a week goes by, and I don't talk to some young person preparing for college with a plan and search for what they want to do with their lives. They're searching for a career that captivates them. Find your passion. Last consideration is life really is a playing field. I have gone back and talked to various college football teams, Oklahoma, App State. One of the things I tell them, they don't really want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it when I was that age. But life really is a playing field. And I liken it to the spread offense. The spread offense in football is you use the entire field. You have options. You can run up the middle, pass, go wide. But you have to have the whole playing field. But in your life, every bad decision you make bad decisions. You narrow down your playing field. You get a DUI, you get a shoplifter. You post something on social media. You let somebody catch you with their camera doing something really stupid at a party. That's going to stick with you, and it's going to narrow down that playing field. It's the last thing you want to do at your age is take away options. You want to have multiple options as you go to the next stage. So, good decisions, or just not making bad decisions, especially really bad decisions, preserves those options. So let me wrap it up. Are you happy? You're in a very challenging and sometimes dangerous world out there. There's a lot of uncertainty. We desperately need places like Lake Oconee Academy, providing a sense of family, community, and real person-to-person connections. You have a great start here, and most of all, you have a sense of purpose. Remember, life is a marathon, not a sprint. May God bless you and your efforts going forward, and may God bless us for Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Barker. So these kids, I can tell you very briefly, but these kids had to listen to me lecture tonight. We talked about a couple different things the past 2 days. But this is going to be part 3. It's 2 part, but this is part 3. Life is going to happen, and there are things that are going to happen that you don't plan for. And sometimes you got to roll with it. I had some kids in my office the other day, some young men, and I was telling them about a poem called If by William Goodman. The first line of the poem is, you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming you. This person that I'm about to introduce is poised, she perseveres, and she's the valedictorian of Lake Oconee Academy.
Good evening, and welcome parents, friends, guests, faculty, and most importantly, Lake Oconee Academy's class of 2025. I am so grateful for the opportunity to address the Titan family one last time as this is valedictorian. But for the next few minutes, I hope you'll see me as your cookie-baking, Lego-building, sandwich-serving classmate, Jewel. After all, today marks our final day as LOA's senior class, and I couldn't be prouder of the fellow scholars turned closest friends I stood beside. As we stand at such a pivotal moment in our lives, I believe it will provide closure to look back on where we've been, appreciate where we are, and consider how our time at LOA has impacted where we're going. Indeed, this marvelous moment is surrounded by happiness and excitement on all sides, and this energy only grows stronger upon further reflection. Thus, we begin with the past. Once upon a time, in the dark days, when the years started with 19, a boy and a girl. Okay, well, maybe not that far back, but we're not in world history anymore, after all. Perhaps instead, think about your first days on this beautiful campus. Say hi to the little you. From racing to those noisy spinning cup seats on the playground at recess, to sneaking back into your brightly decorated classroom in hopes of catching that accursed leprechaun who tracks glitter across the floors every March. Even at your youngest, you have embodied determination, stopping at nothing in pursuit of your dreams. Academically, you are curious and prepared to take on any challenge thrown your way. You want spelling bees and frantically solve complex things. With age, you realize that the relationships you have made with your classmates have become crucial to your success. I learned that I was surrounded by a class of compassionate citizens who are willing to make sacrifices for each other. And how lucky are we to belong to a community where all this effort is matched by our parents, teachers, coaches, volunteers, the foundation, and the administration. On behalf of the class of 2025, I extend my gratitude to you all. Your guidance and support have steered us directly to this stage. And so, class, here you sit, in the present. This fateful day is a product of your loving parents, generous educators, and your internal motivations. But I see you hastily tapping your phone over there. You're praying that my speech is almost over, so you can finally tuck your ill-fitting polyester cap into the clouds. Alas, you're not so lucky. You all have such exceptional goals, from commanding the Marine Corps, to laying down the law in a courtroom, to producing your own album. And your time will surely come. But please, for 1 second, stop planning for the future and recognize the beauty of the present. All those hours spent hunched over your Chromebooks and notebooks, writing lengthy research papers, intense lab reports, and painful calculus test corrections have finally paid off. So celebrate your accomplishments, and please congratulate your fellow graduates, because they worked exceptionally hard too. As we look towards the future, I can't help but think about a quote that the majority of the class of 2025 has seen displayed on Ms. Garland's desk in the chemistry laboratory. Hard work beats talent, but talent doesn't work hard. Make no mistake, my classmates are all so extraordinarily talented. Successfully managing staggering amounts of AP courses and dual enrollment classes, working multiple jobs, excelling in sports in ways that I truly admire and could never do myself, while displaying their creativity in arts and music make that point very clear. However, I implore you to carry the dedication and persistence you've cultivated throughout your time at Lake Oconee Academy into your career and relationships. As my mom frequently reminds me, you can't change the past, but you can certainly use what you've learned to enhance your future. With this extra effort, your natural talents, and your ever-growing collection of skills, your potential is limitless. I look forward to seeing how each one of you will accomplish your goals and make your mark, and I wish you all the success in the world as you come into your own. Congratulations to the class of 2025, and thank you.
If Emerson Walker would come to the stage.
Thank you again, Mr. Swecker and Joel. The time has finally come. Class of 2025. The countless number of hours of preparation for this day, and in a few short minutes, we will be receiving our diplomas. When you receive your diploma, I hope you will think back on everything that has brought
It is truly an evening to celebrate. The class of 2025 has accomplished so much here in the last 4 years at LOA. Many graduates are wearing various cords that are listed in your program. Many are receiving various diploma seals. I would like to invite Executive Director Dr. Brad Poland and Vice Chairman of the LOA Board of Governors, Jennifer Vaughn, up to the stage for the presentation of diplomas. Graduates, it's now time to receive your diploma. Let's go, please rise. Jewel Teresa Morrison. Jewel awarded in Computer Science at the Georgia Institute of Technology. Adam Richard Kalmanovich. Adam is studying entrepreneurship and hospitality with minor in real estate at the University of Miami's Minor College. Aaron Urter. Aaron is studying computer media at the Georgia Institute of Technology Minor College. Lauren Grace Glass. Lauren is majoring in liberal science at the University of Georgia. William Estes King III. William will major in physical therapy at Emory. Maria Camila Marquez. Maria will major in international affairs at the Georgia Institute of Technology. Mary Claire Thomas. Mary Claire will major in scientific illustration at the University of Georgia. Arya Suhani Quran. Arya will study criminology and technology at the University of Tampa Honor College. Amadeo Ridge Sardella. Ridge will major in mechanical engineering at the University of Georgia. Marley Trevette Beaker. Marley will major in interior design and fashion merchandising at Auburn University. Lainey Gail Carter. Lainey will major in early childhood education at Georgia College and State University. Reed Anthony Davis. Reed will major in business at Berkeley College. Second row, please rise. Jackson Seth Dingler. Jackson will major in health and molecular biology at Augusta University. Mackenzie Joy Dice. Mackenzie will major in biology at Georgia Southern University. Grace Anna Finch. Grace will study nursing at the University of South Carolina. Autumn Ashlyn Catherine Hinspeter. At the University of Georgia. Karen B. Carr. Carol will study biology at the University of North Georgia and join the Navy Reserve. Samuel Isaac O'Neill. Ike will study construction management at the University of North Georgia. Riley Claire Payne. Riley will major in mass communication at Georgia College and State University. Abby Elizabeth Reddick. Abby will major in psychology at the University of Georgia. Next row, please rise. Brady Thomas Sittler. Brady will major in marketing at Georgia College and State University. Thea Gabriella Smith. Thea will major in political science at the University of Mississippi. Sophie Mary Usry. Sophie will study communication sciences and disorders at the University of North Georgia. Joseph Knox Manmore. Knox will major in business at the University of Georgia. Julio Cesar Ariasa Reyes. Julio will major in finance at the University of North Georgia. Lily Michaela Cox. Lily will study nursing at the College of Charleston. Austin Perry Dale. Austin will study Hannah Bernice Elbader. Hannah is working at Florida Atlantic University. Next row, please rise. Anna Garcia Randall. Anna will be in the first education at the University of North Carolina. Jackson Richard Bowden. Jackson will be in business management at the University of North Carolina. Palmer James Larkin. Palmer will study business at Coastal Carolina University. Matthew David Lewis. Matthew will study business management at Georgia Southern University. Peyton Rose Lewis. Peyton will study psychology at Georgia Southern University. Wesley Claire Lewis. Wesley will study Dylan Jane Roussel. Dylan Jane will major in marketing at Georgia Southern University. Haley Ellen Stewart. Haley will study sociology at Emmanuel University. Mario Fernando Zamora. Mario at the University of Georgia. Next row, please rise. Hudson Copeland Chalema. Hudson will complete general studies at the University of North Georgia. Ellie Hope Daniel. Ellie will major in Human and Family Services at Kennesaw State University. Hayes Skip Fleming. Hayes will major in business at the University of North Georgia. Noah Kipling Domney. Noah will study business at the University of North Georgia. Eli Ames Putnam. Eli was born in apprenticeship at Electrical Services. Jared Howard Glass. Jared was born in the United States Marine Corps. Brianna Felicia Blade. Ansley Reese Godwin. Early college education at Georgia Southern University. Victoria Michelle Bucron. Victoria was psychologist at East Carolina University. Next row, please rise. Nicholas Stephen Jaronsky. Nicholas is the general studies at the University of Oconee. Carson Scott Johnson. Carson will study commercial at the University of North Carolina. Cameron William Kelly. Cameron will study construction management at Georgia Southern University. Camille Catherine Kennedy. Camille will study radiology at Athens Technical College. Thomas Benjamin Leach. Ben will study computer science at the University of North Georgia. Cameron Alexander Hazel. Cameron will study welding at Athens Technical College. Torrin Lee Maddox. Torrin will study business management at the University of North Georgia. Austin Lee Marshall. Austin will major in finance at Georgia Southern University. Caleb Jamar Mathis. Val Bowden Meyer. Val will study automotive technology at Athens Technical College. Jack Tyler Moody. Jack is studying computer science at Georgia Military College. Delaney Faith Myers. Delaney is studying biology at Georgia College and State University. Jaden Tyler Newberry. Jaden will study welding at Athens Technical College. Dylan Mitchell Phoenix. Dylan will study to be a pilot at Grand Cross Aviation. Rael Rodriguez Flores. Rael is from the United States Army. Mason Lewis Salemi. Mason will study criminal justice at the University of North Carolina. Final row, please rise. Megara Lashanya Samuel. Megara will study political science and pre-law application at the University of North Carolina. Cheyenne Lee C. Cheyenne will study finance at the University of Mississippi. Emerson Lynn Walton. Emerson will study public health at the University of Alabama. Austin Robert Warwick. Austin will study welding at Athens Technical College. Mitchell Hollis Walker. Mitchell will study welding at Athens Technical College. Cardasia Jaleesa Wright. Cardasia will study for the James Russell Wright III. James will study finance at Georgia State University. McKenna Grace Young. McKenna will study psychology at Georgia Southern University. Let us give a round of applause for your class of 2025.
We're going to wait for all of you to be seated. It is indeed my honor that on behalf of the Lake Oconee County Board of Governors, on the recommendation of the faculty, the authority of the Board of Governors, and the state of Georgia, I confer upon each of you the high school diploma of Lake Oconee Academy with all its rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Seniors, please stand. It is my honor to command you to move your classes to the left. Congratulations, class of 2025, we did it. Class of 2025 and our guests, please join us in the singing of our alma mater. You can find the words in the program. Please be seated as we sing this short benediction.
Class of 2025, we are so proud of you. We love you and we hope you will come back and visit us in the years to come. Congratulations one more time to this class of 2025. To all the family and friends of graduates, thank you to each one of you for being here today to celebrate with us. If you will, please stay seated until after the students and final faculty have recess. When you are done, you may make your ways to the door, make your way to these side doors. Actually, you want to go that way, definitely not that way. To these side doors or up the stairs, and we will congregate with our graduates up there. Congratulations once again.